here's Ed Bernstein.
My guest today is the most amazing comedian in Las Vegas, George Wallace, and a little bit later, John Katz. You know John Katz, right?
Everybody knows John.
He likes the entertainment thing. Yeah.
Sure, with the glasses. We know him. We love him. He's a great guy.
Yeah, a great guy. You know, but I got to ask you, the first thing I want to ask you, because when I was doing some research and preparation, you know, first thing you normally do is what, you Google somebody, right?
Yes, of course.
When I Google you, there's a different George Wallace that pops up. Now, you and I are old enough to remember who the other George Wallace was, right?
I would suppose if you're under 30, you don't know the other George Wallace.
Right. I mean, he was a racist from the South that actually was a candidate for president.
But I'm the same guy. Yeah. I say segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Look like we're headed back to...
Yeah. Never get. No, it's a stupid question. You ever been confused with George Wallace? You just were.
No, well, yeah. How about that? No, you know the people paying. They come to see me. They know who
they know. They're not expecting the other one.
They better know it's me.
Well, he's dead anyway.
They're
right?
going to be surprised if they think it's the other one.
But anyway, you're going to be this week, May 26th, 27th, and 28th at South Point.
I've never been there. I've been there as a customer. What do you call it?
Yeah, yeah.
That place is amazing
Tourists,
down there, and the tourists love it. Not only the tourists, the locals. It's a great place for the locals. And I'm going to be there next week. The showroom is beautiful, and I've done some guest spots there, and I love it. And you just can't beat this place. And I look forward to it. And the locals, I don't think you have to pay for parking up there either.
You do not pay for parking.
What is with this? I left the city and the city went crazy. I didn't leave. I mean, I left the Flamingo, and the city went crazy. You still got construction everywhere. You should invest in orange cones, or somebody said. This city's going crazy, you know. And I could talk about it forever. I want to be talking about it at the South Point too. Sunday night, Friday,
you talk about paying for parking. You drive? You drive? Right?
Of course I drive. Yeah.
You started talking to me earlier. We didn't even finish the conversation about transportation.
Yeah, my first degree is in transportation. A lot of people don't even know what that is.
What is a degree in transportation?
Transportation is the #1 industry in the world. Now, people don't realize this cup, the shirt off your back, the table, the cameras, the TV you're watching right now had through some way get to you through some form of transportation. Now, there are 5 modes of transportation. Are you writing this down? Because it's going to be a test.
I'm going to make a note, but does one of them have to do with all these trucks that that delay my trip every morning on the freeway?
Trucking, rail, pipeline, air, and water. Those are the 5 modes of transportation. So we're going to test you on this later, so write those down, and you might win a ticket to see my show at the great South Point Hotel.
Yeah, so that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You've been in this hotel. Everybody's been in this hotel.
Oh, I love this. I live by the hotel.
The restaurants in there, the bowling, the movies, everything. I don't know why. Well, I guess they have everything in the other hotels, but this is so great, and for the locals. The locals love going there.
And Michael Gaughan, the owner of the hotel, has always catered to locals. I mean, he did that when the Boyd Company, before Boyd took over, and his father. I mean, the family goes back forever, and they know how to run a casino.
Well, we're looking to have some fun there because this is Las Vegas, and Ed, if you can't laugh here, you can't laugh anywhere. If you can't laugh in Las Vegas, I really think I should run for mayor. Enough said. I'm talking to Ed.
Use your head. Don't run for mayor. But
I'm only going to do 3 things when I'm in charge of this country. When I'm in charge, first thing I'm going to put the monorail right down the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard.
And why don't we have that? Isn't that an obvious thing to do?
It's going to be one Tuesday or Thursday, Tuesday through Thursday. We're going to take that monorail and just shift it over to the middle of the street. Wouldn't that be the obvious thing to do?
Not only that, have it from the airport all the way downtown.
Downtown, that's of course. Where do you think it's going to go?
Yeah.
From straight, it'd be so beautiful, just like in Zurich, Switzerland, a little tram in the middle of the street. It'd just be beautiful. Silence, quiet, going down Las Vegas Boulevard. It's so simple to think. And then I'm going to do the construction here. I want people to stop running red lights in Las Vegas too. People have a tendency to run red lights here. I want to tell everybody in Vegas, if you can see yellow, you can stop.
Okay.
Okay?
And that's your platform, huh?
That's my platform.
That's your. And so, speaking of political, I mean, do you do a lot of political? I mean, look, you can't put on TV anymore and not talk about Donald Trump. You know, it's every
I call
late night
him
show.
a walking circus peanut. Now I know I got some Trump fans out there, but we got to tell these jokes. I call him, the orange color, a walking circus peanut. And I never, when he said all African Americans are living in poverty, and I called him and said I'd like to talk to you about that, but I can't decide which one of my houses I want to meet you at to do this. So I got at least 5 minutes on Trump. We'll be talking about him.
But did you do that with Obama also?
Of course, with Obama, I love him. He came to the show here in Las Vegas. He came to the show and we had fun, and I'm the one that told him to raise the height of the fence because people are jumping that fence, you know. Because you don't see any black people jumping the fence. I'm going to talk about that. You know why you never saw?
You're talking about the White House.
At the White House, yeah. They need to raise it even now. You never saw any black people because, you know, they teach those dogs to eat black people.
Yeah, so they're afraid, really.
They had to retrain those dogs not to eat President Obama. This stuff is true, I'm making up.
Well, you know what? I was there last week. I was in Washington for 4 or 5 days last week, so last day I was there. I went with my wife and we walked around the White House. And I go every year. I go to Washington. Every year I make the same
beautiful
walk.
City now.
Fantastic. But the fences around the White House, you keep getting pushed further back and back each time.
Remember, what, I guess 15, 20 years ago, you could almost walk into the White House, couldn't you?
Well, some people did, right? One of these guys you're talking about that jumped the fence
and
did.
made it into the White House.
Yeah.
See, but that's why, I don't know. I can talk about that. I'm going to talk about everything Trump did and what we're doing. I have so much new material since I left here, and things are still crazy here. I mean, you got new restaurants here. You got, since I left, you got a Five Guys hamburger here, and I personally think that's too many people touching my meat. So, listen, that's at least 9 hands. There's so much going on in Las Vegas, and man, if you can't laugh here, you can't laugh anywhere. Yeah.
And you're doing movies as well. I mean, you have in the past, and you're still continuing. I mean, you're a busy man.
This past 2 weeks ago, I did a movie, came out with Snoop Dogg. And it was called The Grow House. That's because of the new medical problem. Yeah, the people are growing it. Right. And I was a banker, and they were trying to borrow money from the Snoop Dogg so until they get the seed money, so until the business can go above the ground.
How do they cast Snoop Dogg in a pot movie? I don't know.
Why would they do that? I did a movie before with him called The Wash. That's why they put us back together again. Now I'm doing a movie. I just finished a movie with the great Morgan Freeman and Tommy Lee Jones. And Morgan Freeman, I never liked him.
You
never liked Morgan Freeman. No, I think every role that he did, I think I should have played that role.
But I mean,
especially Mandela. I could have played Nelson Mandela. I knew Nelson Mandela, The Wash, all of those things. Everything
I think
Morgan
you probably
did.
could. But I mean, to work with those two guys, I mean, they're two of the best actors alive, both of them.
Great.
Right?
He's the greatest man after working with him. And they told him I didn't like him, and he said, George, why you don't like me? And I told him why. He's such a great man.
Did you take acting lessons?
No. No, most comedians don't. They just let us go, and they wanted me to do it because of just comedically so some of the jokes, the humor in there, and punch it up. And we had a wonderful time. But Morgan Freeman, he's my age. He's 10 years. He's 79 years old.
How do you know?
He came in. He's 79, and he came in, and next thing you know, we were doing your mama jokes. Morgan Freeman talking about my mama. It was just amazing. So just great day working with him. And so doing the movies, doing the television. I've been busy since I left here, and I still live here in Las Vegas. Yeah. You can't beat this city. Is a great city to live in.
That's really for sure. Last night I was watching a Jerry Seinfeld on Crackle. You know, he has comedians in cars.
Jerry who? This guy is telling me about Jerry Seinfeld. You know, he has a show.
He has a show.
Yes, he does.
I'm telling you, viewers, because Crackle is not NBC. You know.
Well, I happen to know this guy, Jerry Seinfeld. He's an idiot.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you have an incredible relationship with this man. Tell me, how did you meet him?
We met back in 1976 at a comedy club called Comic Strip in New York City. He actually, over the past weekend, I've been in New York with Jerry. We just finished shooting a special, and he's going to be Jerry before Seinfeld. So he's doing all of those jokes that he did 40 years ago that we started with, and he's making a special of that, and that will be coming out maybe around August.
Did he have the same type of humor before?
It's the same jokes, identical jokes that he did 40 years ago, 1976, 1977.
But when you see him today, are these jokes from 40 years? I mean, is it a different genre of joke, or a different delivery, or the same kind of?
Believe it or not, the comedians in those days, we kind of wrote in terms of evergreen material, like the jokes will work forever. That's the best way to write a joke, and that's what he did. Some of his jokes back then, the kids today, they were not even born, and they're loving these jokes because the jokes are funny. The jokes are funny, and they're not dirty. We grew up in a day when they had the Tonight Show, Merv Griffin, and Dinah Shore, whatever shows, but we grew up for television. But now, thank God, the young kids have a vehicle that they can express themselves in anyway. And I mean, they can get as dirty as you want, with HBO, and thank God for that too. But we still are clean and still. So everybody will come to my show at the South Point. they'll love it. You can come with your mom, you can bring the kids,
You have a
everybody.
family show. But
Yes.
when you go to these, see these other comedians that are, a little bit fresh, you still enjoy that?
I love it. I love it because I don't cuss, but I just start cussing. There's a rapper in Atlanta. His name is Waka Flocka Flame. And Waka Flocka doesn't sound, it's not cussing, but it's so close. So
like
now that's my
tongue
new curse word.
twisters,
Even if I go to church, I can look at the minister, that Waka Flocka going to be preaching for 35, 40 minutes. So, that's my new curse word. So, but I like the young comedians. Whatever, funny is funny. I like them all.
Yeah. You talk a lot about how lucky you have been in your life, and you seem, people note that you have such a positive attitude. Have you always been that way? You were that way when you met Jerry Seinfeld in '76?
I think that's how we became friends. I've always been positive. I always think good. I think life is good, and life is good for everybody. I'm the most blessed person you've ever met in your life. I've done so much in my life. From meeting President Clinton to been in the White House, and I've been to South Africa, and Nelson Mandela. I was in the cell where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated for 27 years. Wow. I was at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. I've just done so much, and going to school, going to college. I have 3 degrees. Life has just been wonderful. Working here in Las Vegas, being successful in Las Vegas, and I work more shows as an African American. I've done more shows than any other African American here. That includes Red Fox, Sammy Davis Jr., Lena Horne, and I thank God for them every night I walk out on the stage, because when Sammy Davis Jr. worked here, when he started, he couldn't even go to the front door and work the same stage.
That's
and
right.
I thank God for them, and I think if they were alive today, they'd be surprised, wouldn't they? They would be surprised to know we're still going through that same damn kitchen.
Yeah.
We're still going through the kitchen.
Yeah. I remember when I first moved here, Red Fox was living in Las Vegas. Why did you choose to live in Las Vegas?
Well, that was me.
Yeah.
Because of entertainment. I was working. I came here for 30 days. That's another reason I'm blessed. Came here for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 10 years at the Flamingo. Right. And I owned the show. I didn't work for the hotel. I don't know whether you know this. Right. I did all of the marketing. I did all of the advertising.
It's like a four-wheel.
Four-wheel.
You were off, weren't you? Well, you had me at the transportation thing. I was four-wheeling already.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, when I was watching the episode with you and Seinfeld, you guys, and the subject of his show is basically that he gets into a car with a guest star,
yes.
and they go out and they have coffee.
Just have coffee,
right?
just 2 guys.
So he picks you up at the Flamingo. You're performing. He was kind of walking through your dressing room, hanging out with you, and then made a special guest appearance, I guess, on stage.
Yeah.
But then the 2 of you went to the Peppermill.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, that's an institution in this town, right?
Great. Las Vegas, everybody, you must go to the Peppermill, and that's a little local history. That's really doing the Las Vegas local. That's where all of the entertainers went back in the 60s and 70s.
Now, was that your pick? How does that work? Is Jerry say to you, hey, where do you want to go have a cup of coffee? Or does producers create that? Or?
And we thought that would be a great location with a Vegas taste. With a Vegas taste.
Right.
There's many other, we could have gone, how many coffee shops are in?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. This is still special with the neon lights and things like that. And it was so much fun, and we were sitting there, I don't know whether you have the clip or not, but I'm crazy.
Oh,
You got a clip?
Let me just play the clip. I think I have a Seinfeld, a little bit of a Seinfeld clip. I forgot about our clip.
Okay,
I forgot we
had
clips. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay. What can you do with morning breath? Like you can remove wallpaper.
Would you take the mint out of your mouth so we could understand you? We could barely understand you as it is.
Why is he here?
I'm across the street.
You shouldn't be here. I bet you my picture's not across the street in your hotel.
No, it isn't. I had it taken down. You're not getting old. You're old. Now, this is something they would like.
Nobody comes in my house and go through nothing. Nobody touches my stuff. Don't touch my
Now, what is this? Is this a proctology exam to go with your blood pressure?
Did you come to visit me or you come?
It's a Mexican sanitizer?
Because I'm better. That's a better product. That's original.
Oh, this is better.
Organic. You know what? You're starting to piss me off now. You know that?
What is Toranja disinfectada?
It's a hand disinfector. Can't you read?
Why can't you use Purell like everybody else? What are these?
Do you get out of my place? I don't come to your house walking like that. Get out of here.
I am sorry he's stupid. We have been trying for 38 years, but there's just not much we can do with what we have to work with.
You calling me stupid?
You are stupid. Where'd you go to school? Making me sit there, waiting for you to finish that stupid show.
I don't give a shit about you. I was doing my show. You're nobody. And I can get out. I think my feet are so big I can't move anymore.
It's not your feet that's big, it's your ass.
That's a big scarf is not hot.
So,
Now you see we're different, right?
Yeah, but when you were talking that you were talking about how positive you are and how you met Jerry, and you guys roomed together, right?
13 years.
You roomed together for 13 years. But he is the guy who finds fault with everything.
Everything.
He and Larry David, they're always complaining, vetching would be his word, about every little thing that they see. You don't complain.
I go through that every day with him. He's always, and I'm the only one can tell him. See, all the other guys in comedy, they are afraid of him. What's the right word? Intimidated.
Intimidated, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, I'm the one who can tell him, shut up, go to hell. Shut up. Did you see how I was talking to him? Yeah. We talk to each other. We just love each other. And the kids, sometimes we're going back and forth. His kids, they think he's bullying me. We're bullying each other. They just go, that's flat out bullying, Dad. And we're just laughing and looking at him because, it's just a great love, a great kindred or friendship. I was best man at his wedding. I'm actually the father of his kids. That's how close we are.
Yeah, no, I see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be right back with George Wallace and some more stories after this. There are many types of careless drivers. Those who text and drive, drink and drive, and those distracted drivers. If you've been hurt, you need to call me.
Enough said. Call Ed. EdBernstein.com.
So we were talking earlier about how Jerry Seinfeld showed up at your show. And you ever have people just like intrude and...
No, the George Wallace show, he'll tell you it has always been like Vegas like it used to be.
Who'd you bring here?
This is my good friend John. John from the newspaper is now the entertainment man of Las Vegas.
Well, here's a test, okay? John Katz, he writes his column in the RJ.
Everybody knows him.
What's his last name?
Katz. That's all. That's all you need to know. It's K-A-T-S.
Yeah.
That's all you don't need to know.
That's true, actually.
Nobody in Las Vegas knows his real name.
It's like G-Wall.
Teach George and I how to pronounce your last name.
Katsilometes.
You still don't know. He just told you in your face.
Katsilometes. It ends as metis. Metis doesn't rhyme with
Wheaties.
Wheaties. That's a lot of people get tripped up on the last syllable, but it's Katsilometes.
See how great he is.
It's a Greek name derived from the term cut nose or cat nose.
Which means what?
It used to mean cat nose or cut nose. Cut nose, and it comes from. I'm going to get this. It comes from a military man in Greece who was bayoneted in the face, and his original name was Anagnostopoulos, and they started giving him the name General Cutnose, which is Katsilometes, and then it became over years Katsilometes.
You subscribe to Ancestry.com, huh?
No, this was Ancestry real life. When I was a kid, I was told that was a story. I think I've got it pretty well.
That was a good story. You thought I was a comedian. Now,
that's true.
That was a funny story.
That's why I cower when I see a bayonet to this day. I get skewered, for real.
Of course, you can read the Katz column every day, daily, in the Las Vegas Review-Journal on the most important page in the paper.
Yeah.
How do you get that page 3, right?
Yeah, well, you have to work about 30 years. But I'm on page 3A, every day.
That's cool.
3A every day and online all the time.
Now, I got to be honest with you. When I read the newspaper, I still get it delivered.
Okay.
I look at the front page. I go to page 3, read your column. Then I'm finished with that section, and I'm over to the sports.
The flip toss method, right?
And then I'm looking to see who died.
The good thing he's actually on page 3, because we're in New York City, we have a page 6. It could be on page 11, 12, 13, it could be anywhere.
Page 6 column is on other pages,
Right.
And I had to, honestly, resubscribe to the newspaper when I came over to the RJ, because I spent a long time with Greenspun Media Group and the Las Vegas Sun, and I was absorbing everything either in magazine form, when I was writing for the Weekly or other, or online. And I didn't get the daily paper, but when I started, the RJ is very print-centric still, and we've got a lot of investment in the newspaper. We just did a redesign. So I thought, well, I'm a subscriber again for the first time in a long time. So I read the paper and read online, too.
Yeah, George talking about living in Las Vegas and how great it is. We have a lot of celebrities that live here. Does that make your job easier?
It makes it more vibrant. It does. What it does, it means that the city really doesn't stop. It really is, something is happening all the time, and the thing about Las Vegas that people sometimes lose sight of, but you have to remember, is it is 24/7. It is a 24/7, no matter what you're covering, no matter what, and especially in my world, which is a man about town entertainment, a lot of celebrity coverage, a lot of big events. There's something going on pretty much always, and I can write conceivably any time. and post online at any time and be, and have something relevant going on. So that's the thing that separates Las Vegas, is that quality. There's celebrities who live in a lot of other metropolitan areas, but you don't have the 24/7 element.
Who are some of the top celebrities that live in Vegas?
Besides me.
Besides George.
Besides me.
Mr. Wallace. Well, we've got the, who
Nicholas,
live here. We've got Celine Dion's a resident here.
Sure.
We've got Donnie Marie have residence here. Carlos Santana lives in Las Vegas. Like Smokey Robinson. Nicholas Cage lives in Las Vegas. I've seen him around on occasion.
Jamie Foxx has a place here.
Carrot Top Fox, I understand, does have places here.
Sure.
And we're about to get a whole bunch of sports celebrities when the Golden Knights move here, and especially when the Raiders move here. So we're going to have a whole different dimension of sports celebrity coming to Las Vegas.
Absolutely, and I was having a conversation the other day about the number of multi-million-dollar homes that these guys will buy. They're immediate millionaires. They come in, hockey players, football players, and they're going to be. Are you going to be reporting on that type of thing?
Young athletes with a lot of money are going to make a lot of news. In real estate, they're going to make a lot of news in their.
They're going to get in a lot of trouble. All of that
There's the potential for. I had a guy who's a casino host tell me a couple of weeks ago that this is how he termed this. He goes, "These are young guys who are dumb with a lot of money. That's my lifeblood," and he helps fill. The mega clubs in town and does parties at these places, the major ones. And so that's going to be a big deal. That's going to be quite something to be covering for me. Yeah, but it's a lot of wealth, a lot of dynamism coming into Las Vegas. But even without that, we do a lot of events. We've got the Billboard Music Awards coming up this weekend. Imagine Dragons are in the show, Cher's in the show. She's got a residency here. And that is going to take up a lot of energy, a lot of time.
Yeah. You see the residency program continuing. Backstreet Boys are now at Planet Hollywood. By the way, one of them just moved to my neighborhood.
Which one?
Nick.
Howie.
Hey man, which neighborhood? No,
I got to rename the street now, Back Street.
Right, but they come in and they're buying. Why pay taxes in California, right? You're performing here.
That's the one reason.
Yeah,
that's why all of us are here, Ed.
That's a lot of them. But you've mentioned the Backstreet Boys, and we've got many others. Jennifer Lopez, Bruno Mars, Ricky Martin has performed at the Park Theater, Cher at the Park Theater, Pitbull coming back to Axis Theater, where Britney's going to be ending her run in December, where J-Lo performs Backstreet, and on and on. What we found in Las Vegas, and I'm going to one Saturday night, which is John Fogerty at Wynn Las Vegas at the Encore Theater, is you have a pocket of about 9 to 12 shows in a month-long span, roughly, that type, and they call it a mini residency. I call it a limited or extended engagement. Those residencies are where Las Vegas is becoming more prominent in entertainment, and it has come at a cost. George will tell you that, which is the showroom production show type of entertainment. It's taken some of the energy out of those places, but as far as stars at the top level who have multi-generational appeal, Las Vegas has found a niche with that, and Celine was the first one to help make this happen with her shows at the Coliseum.
And the ticket prices keep getting higher and higher and higher.
Yeah,
but yours is really a reasonable.
I have no idea
right?
what the price is, but it should be
$9.99. I heard.
$9.99. Listen, I'm getting. They can let them in free. I'm getting the salary. I'm getting paid no matter what. They can charge me.
This is a four-wall? You're not
I'm not four-walling this time. No, I'm working for somebody. See.
Oh, okay.
If I was four-walling, you'd be paying. Trust me, you'd be paying.
George is at the forefront of all that lease your own room and take control of the venue. Culture
I think I have let me kind of show another clip of yours.
You have another clip? Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay me. I'm going to make double money on this show.
Christian, just pick one of George's clips.
We'll let John critique it.
Yeah,
okay. Looks good so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's any doctors in here? Any doctors in here? How you doing, doctor? Need your kicked. Let me ask you, how come we have a 10 o'clock appointment to see the doctor? We don't get to see the doctor 11:15, 11:30, 11:45. And then they walk out. Be patient, be patient. That's how they came over the name. Then ask me a stupid question. What's the problem? The problem, I've been waiting on your for an hour and a half. That's the problem. Got me waiting in the waiting room. Then they take me back into a little examination room. I'm back. That's why I start stealing. You go to the doctor, open up those drawers back there. Take that. I got cotton balls and tongue depressors at my house. Well, I got that little hammer make my knee kick out. I stole all that. those drugs. And they got all these new drugs out now, too, make me sick. I saw one last night called Cialis. Y'all heard about Cialis? Cialis, it's a male enhancement drug. Makes a man ready for sex 36 hours in a row. 36 hours in a row at his moment of choice. Then they have a disclaimer, if you're firm for more than 4 hours, call a doctor. If I'm firm for 4 hours, I ain't calling no doctor. I'm calling somebody who can help me with this thing, Jack. Cialis. Cialis. I'm gonna see Alice, I'm gonna see Sharon, I'm gonna see Susan. I'm gonna see Shaniqua, see Shonda. What you doing, mister, on that hat? I got another 2 hours on this thing. What you doing for the next 2 hours?
Love the shirt.
Well,
Yeah, the shirt's 3 stars.
Hey, you know what? That is a lady's blouse. We did that on some kind of stylist show many years ago, and the lady, she bought it at a garage sale, and I said, I'll wear that. The different colors on it. I don't even remember doing these jokes. I've changed so much, but that was still funny, going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny.
What's some of your favorite things you reported on?
Well, you know, I like, more recently something happened in Las Vegas very interesting, is that Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne renewed their vows at the Wynn Las Vegas Chapel on Sunday. Right. And that's it's a really big deal in England. They'd had some marital problems, and you know those two, they're dramatic and theatric, and they've been making news for a long time, and there was a question about their marriage and them separating and all this stuff that was going on there. But they showed up at the Wynn Las Vegas, and I heard about it reliably, but it was a very private ceremony, and I wrote that up, and it went crazy in England and the UK.
Yeah.
But those are the kinds of things every once in a while you run into. If you run around town enough, you hear this stuff.
Your sources are better than Flynn's, General Flynn.
You never know. He might be a source.
No, he got $500,000. He didn't.
Well, if Flynn has a stage show in Las Vegas, I'll be there at open time. Right?
You will.
Right. I mean, your Rolodex must be unbelievable.
I've got great contacts, you know,
Yeah.
and I've been around, Ed. You know, I've been around here for a long time. I remember when George opened at the Flamingo.
2004.
Yeah, right. And I was there that night, you know, when all this happened. So the fact that I've been around, I've been consistent, and I've gotten to know people personally very well, is the key to my productivity. You know, I've got a lot of contacts, a lot of friends in the field, all over the place.
So if you want to know what's really happening in town with locals and those that come into Vegas, the Katz Report is at the Las Vegas Review-Journal every day.
Every day,
7 days
3
a week, page 3,
right.
and you also do stuff online, right?
Yep.
And George Wallace, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
South
Point.
You can eat great food. Come down and see the show and laugh.
And then see great comedy. Thank you both, guys. There are many types of careless drivers. Those who text and drive, drink and drive, and those distracted drivers. If you've been hurt, you need to call me.
Enough said. Call Ed. EdBernstein.com.